Comparable interface is the built-in public interface in Java. Comparable is designed to compare the object. So when you have two objects, you can use the common method compareTo to compare two objects. But those two objects must be the same type. So we can say whenever you make the comparable type, you can use a generic type. So you are going to mention this comparable subclass is for E class. So you are going to write down the class name instead of this E. We can say interface, if we go back to the interface definition, interface is an abstract type, like a structure, like class, but it's not real class, which has only abstract methods. It usually involves multiple classes is planning for multiple classes. Then the classes must implement abstract method to be concrete, and when you want to make the subclass of interface, you are going to use implement keyword. To implement a comparable, this built-in public interface, which looks like this one. So public interface comparable for generic type E. This E represents object type. This comparable method has only one abstract method, that is a compareTo method. So you are going to compare current E type with other E type. Then this compareTo method returns integer value. So as a general premise, what we say is when we compare object X with object Y, if X is greater than Y, we return a positive number. If X is less than Y, we return a negative number, actually integer. So you can think about this one returns like a X minus Y. If X is bigger, positive. If Y is bigger, negative. But not always X minus Y. It's like conceptually, you can think about first one minus the second one is returned. Then what you're supposed to compare is it's your decision. Let's think about the weight class. If I show the real weight class on the next page, this is the weight class on your page 16 on the packet. The weight class has two variables, my pounds and my ounces. So you are going to decide which one you are going to compare for the compareTo method. You can compare only my pounds, you can compare only my ounces, but in this case, we want to compare the total weight. So we are going to compare pounds first, then ounces. So my pounds and get pounds. So if my pound is smaller, return negative integer. You don't have to return -1. Any negative integer is possible. If my pounds is greater than get pounds, w.get pounds, that means other weights get pounds. I'm going to return positive number. Then if they are equal, so that means they are equal. If it does not return anything yet, pounds number are equals. So you are going to compare ounces. If my ounces is less than get ounces, negative number, my ounces is greater than get w.get ounces, positive number. If it never returns anything up to after for if statement, that means ounces are also equal. That means they are the same. So actually 0 represents me and other are equal. In this specific case, you don't have to use lots of if-else statement. You can also calculate the total pounds for mine and for W. So 1 pound is 16 ounces, so you can just calculate by using that. So my total ounces and W's total ounces will be stored into the variable. Then you are going to just do my total minus W total. It will also give you the same result. like positive, negative, and or 0. If you look at the given code, there's one more thing we may think about. In the weight class on the page 16, if I show the single page, this is the weight class, and when you compare is also weight class. So inside of the weight, you are calling another weight. So actually, you can call private field directly. This is legal. Only inside of the weight class when you have a weight type object. Then, if you look at here, it is explanation about how to do Lab04 on the page 16 bottom and partial output 2. You can refer that. Then, for the weight class, one more thing you need to know is a class design. Weight class is a subclass of interface comparable, so it must have a compareTo method. Weight class is also a resource class, so this is designed for the instantiating on weight object. So it should have fields, constructor. First one is a default constructor. The second one is a 2-argument constructor. So because in the same class you have the same weight and weight, you can also say overloaded constructor. Then get pounds, get ounces are accessor methods. Set pounds, set ounces are modifier method. You can see the MM. compareTo is implemented instance method, and toString is also instance method.